Hi VC, it's Aaron, Mutha Alamere. Today I am entering a contest for Miss 80s Music and Movies, and it's Beth. This is the host of the contest. She's great. Love Beth. I've been following her since for a couple of years since I've been in the VC. She used to have a different channel, and she took it down, came back up. So she's over 500 subs now, and I know she'll get up to 1,000 soon. She's just a great person, has a great channel, and she really loves her 80s, especially movies, music, stuff like that. So what I'm doing for my Give Me 5 is I'm going to give 5 songs that were not included on the actual soundtrack that appeared in the movie that would have made the soundtrack better. These are all going to be 80s movies, and I'm going to start off with one which I actually don't have the vinyl of because in my last purge I sold it. I thought I still had it, and then I realized I'd sold it. And for my first song, I'm going to go with the movie Footloose. And in Footloose, you know, I saw it when it came out in the theater. I was drugged to it. I didn't want to go. I saw it, and then this one scene came on. I was like, wow, I love this. And it was my favorite part of the whole movie. And it was when Ren, who's Kevin Bacon, is first driving into town, and they're playing the song Mental Health. He's playing it on his stereo really loud, and you can hear it. And I love that. And then when my sister bought the soundtrack, I was so disappointed the Mental Health Bang Your Head wasn't on the soundtrack. And if it would have been on there, that soundtrack would have been much better. It was a decent soundtrack as it was, but with Mental Health on there, it would have been just a step up. And it always disappointed me that Mental Health was not on the Footloose soundtrack. So up next, now this was kind of a documentary movie, but it really had a big influence on me in the late 80s and on my music. So I was into heavy metal, and it was the movie The Decline of Western Civilization, The Metal Years. Now, this movie has a great soundtrack, but it would have been made better with 2 songs added to it, which were in the movie. Now, as it says, it has Alice Cooper and Slash, Axl Rose doing Under My Wheels, and then Faster Pussycat doing Bathroom Wall, Motorhead, Cradle of the Grave, Armored Saint, You Can Run But You Can't Hide, Lizzie Borden with Born to Be Wild, the cover of that, Megadeth in My Darkest Hour, which is my favorite on there, Queensryche with The Prophecy, Metal Church, The Brave, Rigor Mortis, Foaming at the Mouth, and Seduce with Colleen. Now, my 2 favorite songs on there, except for the Megadeth song, are not included on this soundtrack. And the first one is by the group London. And they played a song called Russian Winter on there. And it blew me away. I loved it. I was like, I got to find London. I could never find their albums. So I was disappointed that the song Russian Winter wasn't on there. But it appeared on this just a year or 2 later, Playa del Rock, which was called The Priest or London. And it's the second song on there, Russian Winter. And I just absolutely love that song, and it should have been on the soundtrack. Now, the second one that should have been on there was by this group here, Odin. And Odin has Randy O, and they had a song called 12 O'Clock High, which I really loved. It was like my favorite thing on there. I was so pumped up when I heard it, and I still have never found the Odin record with that on it, and I'd love to. But Odin, later on, Randy O formed this band, Lost Boys, and I never would have discovered Lost Boys, I don't think, or not as quickly, if I wasn't aware of Randy O from that movie and from the song 12 O'Clock High, which led me to get this record. So I really wish those 2 would have been on there. Now this next one is, everyone thinks is the best soundtrack of all time, and to me it's very average. It could have been the best soundtrack of all time, but it's Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Now there's a glaring omissions from this soundtrack that, you know, when you think of the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High, I think of 3 songs instantaneously. Somebody's Baby by Jackson Browne, We Got the Beat from the Go-Go's, and Moving in Stereo from the Cars. Now the soundtrack is actually missing We Got the Beat. They have a different Go-Go song on there, which is an alright song, but it's not We Got the Beat. And also, Moving in Stereo is not on the Fast Times at Ridgemont High soundtrack. So you take those 2 songs off, and it's still a good soundtrack, but it really needed Moving in Stereo, which was the most famous scene of the movie, and We Got the Beat, which is the intro of the movie, which was a very famous scene as well. And it's just, those 2 songs left off that soundtrack is really baffling to me, and it's hard for me to even listen to the soundtrack because I'm waiting for those songs to come on, and they're not on there. And 2 of the 3 key songs aren't on the soundtrack. So, you know, this is a pretty good soundtrack. It's not amazing because it's missing the 2 of the 3 best songs on it. At least 2 of the 3 best for the movie. So there we go, Beth. I hope you like that, and everyone have a great one. Go sub Beth's channel, Miss 80's Music and Movies. I think it's that. It might be Movies and Music, one of the two. Go check it out. Sub her. She's great. Everyone have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.